In this morning in Charlotte, North Carolina, where federal immigration officials have moved in as part of an operation they're calling Charlotte's Web, the effort facing big...
It was a crisp morning in Charlotte, North Carolina, when immigration enforcement agents were carrying out a planned operation across the city, targeting individuals who were in the country without proper documentation. Local residents and businesses noticed a heightened presence of federal personnel, and video footage began circulating showing agents performing routine enforcement activities. Some people observed individuals being escorted from vehicles, while others saw business areas with fewer customers and workers than usual. The situation caused curiosity and concern among the public, and social media quickly began documenting events with live footage, commentary, and questions about what was happening. For many, it was the first time seeing federal enforcement actions up close, and the scale of the operation prompted widespread attention. Scenes at local businesses. At one parking lot, videos showed an individual being approached by enforcement agents while maintaining professional conduct. Observers captured moments of coordination and communication as agents worked to ensure that the process was orderly and safe. Nearby, employees at local stores were cautious, and some businesses adjusted operations temporarily to accommodate the influx of law enforcement. One laundromat, normally busy with community members, appeared quieter as patrons chose to wait until the operation had concluded. Officials emphasized that their focus was on public safety, and that individuals who were present legally had no reason to be concerned. Many business owners expressed relief that agents conducted themselves professionally and with minimal disruption. High-profile enforcement efforts. Charlotte's operation was part of a larger enforcement initiative known as Operation Charlotte's Web, which aimed to locate and apprehend individuals with known criminal records who were residing in the United States without authorization. These efforts involved coordination between Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, Customs and Border Protection, CBP, and other federal entities. Agents visited multiple locations, including workplaces, residential areas, and public facilities. Their primary objective was to ensure compliance with immigration law and to apprehend individuals who posed a risk to public safety, including those with gang affiliation, prior convictions, or other legal concerns. Local law enforcement supported traffic and public safety measures, helping to manage the logistics of the operation. Public reactions videos and reports from the day showed a range of public reactions. Some individuals observed quietly, curious about what was happening, while others expressed concern or frustration about the presence of federal agents. Local residents discussed the impact on daily life, including fewer customers at shops, reduced staff at job sites, and delays at schools where children's attendance was affected due to parental concerns. Community leaders urged calm and highlighted that enforcement actions were limited to specific legal targets, emphasizing that members of the public who were present lawfully had nothing to fear. The city's response underscored the importance of understanding federal operations in context and recognizing that disruptions did not imply indiscriminate action. Observations from neighborhoods. Neighborhoods around the operation sites reported a mix of reactions, ranging from curiosity to concern. Residents noted the presence of multiple enforcement vehicles and officers moving systematically between locations. Local businesses adjusted schedules, with some closing temporarily to protect employees and allow the operations to proceed safely. In public spaces, families and school-age children were observed taking precautions, and community organizations shared guidance on how to navigate the situation. Officials emphasized that the aim was to focus on individuals with specific legal concerns and that the general public, including those living and working legally, could continue their daily activities without interruption. Lawful enforcement procedures. Federal agents followed standardized procedures for apprehending individuals, emphasizing communication, safety, and compliance with legal guidelines. Apprehensions were conducted in accordance with established protocols, and officers documented each encounter carefully. For example, video evidence and reports were collected to ensure accountability and transparency. Individuals who were being detained were informed of their rights and provided with instructions for legal representation. These procedures were in place to ensure that operations remained lawful and that civil liberties were respected while federal objectives were achieved. Documentation also helped address public questions and provide clarity to local authorities and community members. Impact on local schools. One of the notable outcomes of the operation was its impact on local schools, where a portion of students did not attend class due to parental concern. Reports suggested that roughly 15% of students stayed home that day, highlighting how federal actions can influence community behavior and perception. Educators and administrators worked to maintain routine academic activities while accommodating parental concerns. Community organizations emphasized the importance of supporting children and families, ensuring that students had access to learning resources and emotional support despite the disruptions. The situation provided insight into the broader social context of immigration enforcement, including how families balance legal compliance, safety, and education priorities. Community safety emphasis. Throughout the operation, both local and federal authorities maintained that safety was paramount. Officers were trained to approach situations calmly and professionally, ensuring that both the public and their personnel were protected. By emphasizing procedural compliance and communication, enforcement teams aimed to minimize risk while achieving operational goals. Community leaders echoed the importance of understanding the legal framework and focusing on public safety outcomes rather than fear or speculation. The day's events served as a reminder that law enforcement operations are complex and require careful management of both legal and social dimensions. After the operation, once Operation Charlotte's Web concluded, officials noted that approximately 275 individuals had been apprehended as part of targeted enforcement efforts. Follow-up procedures included processing individuals according to legal guidelines, providing documentation, and coordinating with courts and detention facilities. Local authorities reported that public spaces gradually returned to normal activity, with businesses reopening, employees returning to work, and students resuming school attendance. Community organizations encouraged ongoing dialogue to address concerns, provide support, and clarify legal expectations. The operation provided an opportunity for reflection on how targeted enforcement intersects with daily life in a diverse city. National implications. The Charlotte operation received national attention as part of broader federal immigration enforcement priorities. Similar operations were planned or anticipated in other cities, particularly those with policies limiting local cooperation with federal authorities. Discussions about these operations included legal considerations, public safety implications, and social impacts. Officials stressed that operations were focused on compliance and accountability, and were not intended to create fear among law-abiding residents. Nationwide, the operation contributed to ongoing debates about immigration policy, enforcement strategy, and community engagement. Future operations. Looking ahead, federal authorities indicated that future operations would continue to prioritize safety, legality, and transparency. Coordination with local agencies, community outreach, and clear communication were identified as key strategies for minimizing disruption and maintaining public trust. Lessons learned from Charlotte were expected to inform planning for subsequent operations, with emphasis on procedural adherence, engagement with businesses and schools, and clear messaging for residents. Federal officials highlighted that the goal remained lawful enforcement, public safety, and accountability for individuals with documented legal concerns. Community reflection. In the days following the operation, Charlotte residents reflected on the balance between law enforcement and community life. Neighborhood organizations and local leaders held discussions about legal obligations, civil rights, and community safety. Residents emphasized the importance of accurate information, understanding legal processes, and supporting families affected by enforcement actions. The community response highlighted the complexity of immigration enforcement in diverse urban areas and the need for ongoing dialogue between authorities and residents. Many expressed appreciation for professional conduct and clear communication during the operation. Educational impacts. Schools noted that while attendance was temporarily affected during the operation, students returned to regular schedules afterward. Administrators emphasized the importance of education continuity, emotional support for students, and communication with parents. Teachers and staff worked to reassure students and provide guidance regarding questions or concerns. Educational outreach emphasized understanding local laws and processes while fostering an inclusive and supportive learning environment. The operation served as an opportunity for discussion about civic responsibility, legal compliance, and community engagement. Business community lessons. Businesses in Charlotte also adapted to the temporary presence of federal operations. Owners and managers shared lessons about preparedness, communication with employees, and contingency planning. Companies emphasized the importance of maintaining safety, protecting staff, and ensuring continuity of operations. Many noted that advance notice, clear messaging, and coordination with law enforcement helped reduce uncertainty and minimize disruption. The experience highlighted the need for ongoing dialogue between business owners, employees, and authorities to ensure a safe and productive environment during enforcement activities. Looking forward, Charlotte's experience serves as a case study for other cities, highlighting the interaction between federal enforcement, community response, and local policy. Lessons include the value of advanced planning, communication, safety protocols, and documentation. Authorities continue to refine strategies for minimizing disruption while ensuring compliance with the law. Residents, educators, and business owners are encouraged to remain informed, engage with authorities, and participate in constructive dialogue. The city's experience underscores the broader challenges and responsibilities associated with immigration enforcement in diverse communities. Conclusion: Operation Charlotte's Web demonstrated the complexities of federal immigration enforcement in a large, diverse urban environment. Targeted apprehensions, community reactions, and media coverage highlighted the interplay between law, policy, and daily life. Officials emphasized public safety, lawful compliance, and transparency throughout the operation. Residents, business owners, and educators reflected on lessons learned, focusing on communication, preparedness, and understanding legal frameworks. The operation serves as a reference point for future enforcement efforts, offering insights into balancing operational objectives with community trust, safety, and engagement.